is Filipino-American History Month. Officially recognized by Congress in 2009, Filipino-American History Month celebrates the achievements of the second largest Asian American group in the U.S., made up of 4 million people. October 18, 1587 marked the first recorded presence of Filipinos in what's now the continental U.S., when Filipino sailors arrived on the California coast on a Spanish galleon. Here are some Filipino contributions to American culture since then. In 1928, Pedro Flores altered a toy called the Bandolor so the user could perform tricks. He rebranded the toy with the name it was known by in the Philippines, yo-yo. During the 1960s, labor leader Larry Itliong convinced Cesar Chavez to bring together Mexican farm workers and Filipino farm workers, known as the Manongs, to strike for fair working conditions. And for generations, Filipino nurses have been at the bedsides of patients in the U.S. Filipinos make up about 1% of the U.S. population, but 4% of nurses. Filipino nurses were the hardest hit on the front line of the pandemic, making up a quarter of registered nurses who have died from COVID. The commitment of Filipino nurses to caring for others embodies the selfless and generous spirit of the Filipino-American community.
And we're being joined now by our chief meteorologist, Efren Afonte. This month very special to you.
Yeah, I am a Filipino. I'm actually a first-generation American Filipino. My parents migrated here in the 60s. My sister and I were born here. And it's a funny joke because they were talking about the nurses. When it comes to the nurses, the joke is that if you're Filipino, you're either going to be a doctor or a nurse. And the irony is that there's a lot of nurses who are Filipino, especially here in the Midlands. There's a association that we're part of, the Filipino-American Association for Greater Columbia. And you know, the great thing for me is that not only being here with my family at LTX, but I'm the only meteorologist, let alone chief, Filipino in South Carolina.
How about that? Good to know.
Good to know.
Thank you, sir, so much.